telling us to enjoy it while they're young. But our days are filled with chaos and stress and cooking and endless laundry piles. Where's the time to enjoy anything? Yeah, that's what I always thought too. There's so much I have to do. When do I find time for peace and joy and happiness when I barely have time to sleep? Mama, it's time for a shift. You can be a happy mom. Yeah, it's possible. If I can, you can. Trust me. I've been a mess. I've been depressed. I've been overwhelmed. I've been to the bottom of the pits. And I've risen. I've grown. I've bloomed. And it all started when I realized I didn't have to anything. I get to. It is my privilege and my honor and my divine responsibility to be the queen of my home. It's not a burden. I'm not the janitor and the lunch lady. I'm in charge. I'm the ruler. I'm the chaos coordinator. I'm the calm in the storm. I don't have to anything. I get to. And so do you. So let's rise, mamas. Adjust your crown. Accept your responsibility. And change the effing world. It's all in the way you choose to see it. You're listening to I Get To, the podcast with Brittany Clarkson. That's me. Hello, my beautiful friend. Okay, before we begin, if you are ever tempted to look at me putting out consistent content and look at me showing up, if you're ever just noticing all of the things I do and you think, oh my gosh, how does she do it all with 3 boys and she's constantly putting things out, she's working so hard all of the time, she must have her whole life together, she uses that beautiful planner all the time. You know what I have to tell you? If you look at me and think that I have everything together and my whole life just flows so smoothly, I have to tell you that you're wrong. And you need to own that mistake right there at thinking that I have it all together, because I don't. I absolutely do not. I don't even have like full self-discipline in all the ways that I wish I did, in the ways that I portray that I do. So I'm letting you in on that. We're going to know this. Like, I'm letting you into my inner circle here. I've come back from my big business weekend that I've talked about a few times here, where I met with my business coach, and then I went to a big Powerhouse Women event. So on fire, have such a great direction in line for the business and developing the Happy Mom Method online course that I'm so super excited for. I've got the outline. I'm on fire for it. I know exactly what I need to do. I'm scheduling like podcast interviews and stuff and Instagram lives with other creators. And it's great. It's good. Things are going amazing. I have so much to do at this point. So what do? Do I get it done and get ahead? No. I'm recording podcast episodes the day before they're going live, editing them early in the morning before. Like I'm posting show notes the day 1 or 2 days after the episode has released, which usually it comes 2 hours after, just so that like the links all verify and whatever. But anyways, that's tech mumbo jumbo. No, and not only am I recording this episode right now, the day before it's going live, so it's Wednesday afternoon. Not the best use of my time. Kids are all home. Didn't do this while I had a kid in school and the other 2 preoccupied. All kids are home right now, recording the episode that's going live on Thursday, tomorrow. And what did I do the last 2 days? Was I busy working on the course? Was I busy planning podcast interviews? Was I busy outlining things? No, I was not. I spent the last 2 days binge watching Only Murders in the Building on Hulu. And I have to say, I love that series, I believe. I think I do. I wasn't sure at first. I was just like, I just really love the casting choices of Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez. I think that's really neat, and I just needed to watch it, and then I got sucked in. And I was like, I don't even know if this is a good show or if I'm just like so invested that I have to keep watching at this point. But I liked it. I enjoyed it. I did. And this is not a podcast where I usually review Netflix and Hulu original series, but you know what? If we're going to be open and honest with each other, that's how I spent the last 2 days. Almost binged Gilmore Girls, and I'd probably still be watching it then because there's a lot more series there to continue with. But that's kind of easier to walk away. They don't leave you on cliffhangers the way that a murder investigation show leaves you on a cliffhanger where you have to keep watching. But I've found that that's the trick, to walk away in the middle of an episode, because the end is always a cliffhanger. The middle, it gets a little bit boring. That's when it's time to turn it off. But I continue to not make that good choice. So I burned up 2 days basically just watching Hulu instead of focusing or even meditating or reflecting on things I needed to share and say and do. And you know what? That's fine, because that happens. And I'm sharing with you that I did that. I made poor time management choices. And that's okay, because I'm still going to get so many things done. I still did all the important things I needed to do each day. I still showed up and supported my kids. I still took care of myself. And you know what? Like, let's be totally honest. Bella, chill. Sorry, my senior dog needs a lot of attention right now. She's making me pet her while I'm recording. So that's just life. Things don't always go perfect. Things don't always go smoothly. Sometimes we don't use our time to the best of our abilities, but that doesn't mean that you can't do all the things that you need to and want to do. It's just a matter of balancing and giving yourself grace in the process. That's a real key to it all, is to just be okay with not doing everything totally perfectly every time. And diving into this episode today, I want to talk to you about 5 things that make my life easier. Okay? Number 1 is detaching from stress and just letting it go. All right, this is tricky to do sometimes, to just detach from the stress and learn to let it go. It takes time to train your brain, but learning to be calm in the chaos is an incredibly useful skill to have, especially if you're a mom and, like, you're in the trenches and, children are tornadoes. You've just got to be able to chill while, the whole world feels like it's burning around you. And you know what? Not even just for moms anymore. Like, just for living in life as we know it now. Many days it feels like the world is just burning all around us. And to be able to stay calm in that and level-headed and make clear choices instead of making fear-based choices and emergency decisions, it's super helpful. Like, really it is. And that's something that I will go super in detail in the Happy Mom Method online course with, is like really honing in on how to let go of stress, how to just choose not to stress. But for today, I can tell you, becoming conscious, becoming aware of when you are stressing is going to be your first step. Realizing that your stress levels are rising, that you're feeling your accelerated heart rate, you're feeling your face get warm, you're feeling that sense of anxiety because of everything around you. Noting, this is how I'm feeling right now, realizing that it's happening. Take a deep breath. Take a few deep breaths if you have to. There's a lot of really great breathing techniques you can use if just a deep breath is not helping and working. I really like the 4-7-8 method, but I learned that the wrong way. So if you're familiar with me talking about the 4-7-8 method in the past, the way it's supposed to be done is you breathe in 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You hold it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Release it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That kind of breathing doesn't super work for me. And when I first learned it, I misinterpreted the instructions. So the way I typically breathe when I need to deep breathe is I breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. I hold it 5, 6, 7. Breathe out 8. And you can blame that misinterpretation on my history of dance. Uh, that I thought 4, 7, 8, and I thought, oh, it's an 8 count. I breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 5, 6, 7, breathe out on 8. Got it. That was not what the method meant, but that's how I do it. The dancer's 4, 7, 8 technique, I guess. And I find that super useful, super helpful. It actually like really does help you lower your cortisol levels, which is stress. Like stress is a physical response and it's in your hormones. So if you can actually physiologically lower that stress hormone, you can lower your stress. And then beyond just lowering the stress hormone is the decision to stress or not to stress. All right, because you are in charge of your body. Your body's not in charge of you. Okay, you're in control. Mind over matter. Your mind is such a powerful tool. And your breathing is a way that you can consciously regulate that stress hormone. So, first, we realize that we're stressing. Second, we decide not to stress. Thirdly, breathing technique, whatever kind of technique helps you. Fourth, go ahead and bring in an affirmation, some kind of a reminder or a mantra or a Bible verse or, a legit I am affirmation, some kind of affirmative positive statement that's going to help you personally to be grounded. Some good examples are things like, I am calm. Stress is a choice. I choose calm. I do not have to stress in this moment. I am in control of my body. This moment does not define me. I can be calm in the chaos. All right, whatever it is that comes to you that helps you to feel calm and grounded and secure, remind yourself of that in this moment. When you have realized you are stressing, you have decided not to stress, you have breathed to lower your cortisol levels, a deep, refreshing breath, and then your reminder statement, your affirmation, your Bible verse, whatever it is, your mantra, whatever is going to help you stay grounded, some kind of grounding statement. Use that in this moment. And then move forward out of this and let go of the stress. This might be something you have to journal on, about noticing when you stress the most and what kind of things are you telling yourself? What are the stories you're telling yourself in those stressful moments? Like, are you taking your stressful moments and then like tearing yourself apart at the same time? Like when kids get super chaotic around you, are you sitting there telling yourself that you're a crappy mom? Are you starting to just attack yourself for all of the things that you have fallen short on in the past day or so? Like, start noticing when the stress rises, what is your brain's automatic responses? Are you tearing yourself apart or are you supporting yourself? Reminding yourself that stress is a choice, that you will overcome this moment, that this moment does not define you, that, you've overcome more than this in the past. This is not that big of a deal. This moment is such a blip in your lifeline. Like, it's not that important what this moment is. Reminding yourself of those things can be so powerful. And that is literally like the number one thing that makes my life easier, is letting go of stress. Choosing peace over stress, choosing calm in chaos. That's the number one thing that's going to make life easier. And sometimes it does need to be journaled through. Why am I stressing in these moments? What What is the root cause of me actually stressing at this moment? Am I stressing because of some limiting belief in me? Am I stressing because of some pattern in my life? Am I stressing because that's my habit? Am I stressing because I'm addicted to stress? Am I stressing just because that's what I'm used to? Because that feels comfortable? Because it's familiar? Or am I stressing because I don't get enough sleep? Am I stressing because I don't eat enough nutritious meals? Am I stressing because I'm starving? Am I stressing because I am dehydrated and I am just depleted of nutrients? Am I stressing because I've had way too much caffeine today? Am I stressing because I never plan ahead and everything has to happen in the moment because I didn't prepare for it? Get to the root cause of the stress. First, choose not to stress, but then get to the root cause, because the best way to not stress is to prevent the situation that causes you stress. If you can take care of yourself before the stressful moment arises and support yourself to show up your best at that moment, you're going to have a lot better luck and it's going to be a whole lot easier to overcome that moment. Okay, number 2, my everyday joy planner. Okay, just keeping a planner in general. I created the Everyday Joy Planner because when I kept a planner, I had to add so many things every day. And it was kind of hard to keep track of all the things that I wanted to make sure I did each day to support myself best. And that's why I created the Everyday Joy Planner, to be set up in a way that supports me. But that is one of the most helpful things, just keeping a planner, knowing what's coming ahead. I take the time each week to coordinate my calendars, because I'll save things like appointments in my phone. Like when I'm at the dentist, I'll put the appointment in my phone, and then I come home and I put it in my planner and I coordinate those calendars. I look at my kids' school calendar. I look at, everything that all the little notes of like, hey, do this on this day. And I put it in my planner. I take my to-do list and I put those things into my planner and I decide, when's that going to get done? When's the deadline on that? When do I have time this week to focus on this, the bulk of these tasks? And I put those into my planner so that every day I'm looking at my planner and I know what needs to get done today and what needs done for the rest of the week. How can I shift things and rearrange things? I don't get married to when I plan to do things all the time. But keeping a planner so that I can visually see all of those tasks and to-dos and places to be in one place is so helpful. And it shows me what white space I have. It shows me where all my free time is, where all my flex time is. And oh my gosh, there's a lot of hours in the day that disappear, like when you're just living day to day. It's like budgeting your time using a planner. Like when you're not budgeting your money, it's really easy to live paycheck to paycheck and not know where any of your money goes. It's the same thing with your time. Just living day to day and not deciding what to do with your time, it goes, it disappears. You use it up and you don't know where it went and what you did all day. One time I actually spent the whole day. I wasn't using a planner at the time. Not necessarily, or it was just a whole day at home where I didn't have specific plans on what to do. And I spent the whole day writing down every single thing I did. At the time, I had 3 kids in diapers too. Like, I spent a lot of time changing diapers. But I calculated the time I spent, and I spent a full 8 hours doing like mother specific tasks. That wasn't cooking and cleaning. That was like tending to the children, was a full 8 hours of like diaper changes and feeding a kid, like, a bottle fed kid or a breastfed kid. Like things that weren't easy to multitask with. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to give you a plate of food while I sit down with my plate of food. It was, you specifically need fed separate from me kind of situation at the time. And then diaper changes and like washing the kids because they got so dirty eating and they played outside and got muddy. And so they needed like 3 baths in a day. And like just childcare basically was 8 hours in one day, just spread across the whole day. So yeah, stay-at-home moms, you are doing a lot of momming in the day. I believe it. It's a full-time job, I will tell you. Childcare being primary caregiver is a full-time job. Motherhood's not the job. That's the relationship, of course. Because you could hire a nanny to come in and do those mother tasks that I just mentioned. You wouldn't be any less of a mom for paying someone else to change all the diapers and prepare all the food. And I would not blame you for doing that. Because if I had the finances at the time that I had 3 in diapers, and not just the finances, but like the the intelligent cognitive decision making, because at the time I was tired and I had so many limiting beliefs over hiring help. I was not prepared to pay someone else to come in and change diapers. And at this point, if I had 3 kids in diapers, I would pay someone to do it. I would. That's not a way I ever want to spend my time again, changing that many diapers in a day. But I digress. Keeping a planner makes things easier because you think the thing one time, like not just keeping, like using the planner for everything. Use it. Look at it all day, every day. Like, make sure it's a planner you like. Like, invest in a planner and use it. Invest in one that you're willing to use. Like, I don't care if it's mine. Go buy an Erin Condren or a Emily Lay, whatever. Like, whatever planner is beautiful to you and functional to you and is like the right one for you, get it. Even if it means you have to make your own. That's what I did. Had to make my own. Use your planner, look at it, plan all the things. Everything on your to-do list, put it in your planner. Like I usually, a lot of times I keep to-do lists on sticky notes so I can put them in my planner and I can move them day to day because I'm not going to get it all done in one day. That's a stupid thing to try to do when you have, if you have more than 3 things on your to-do list, don't expect to do them all in one day. Like you can try. Absolutely. Some days you can kick ass and get a lot of stuff done. I believe it. But if you go and you set out to kick ass and to do a ton of stuff in one day and you don't do it all, I need you to let go of the stress and the guilt of not completing everything. Because it's okay to not do everything every day. It's okay. Like you don't have to be super mom every single day. That's okay. And you've got to be okay with not doing everything every day. Just like I spent 2 days not doing everything. I have a list of things to do. And it's okay because you bounce back and you come back and you do it all on another day and it's fine. It works out. All right. So keeping a planner, and I got to mention, if I'm talking a planner is my Everyday Joy planner, what I love about it is that I have my planner. When I say using a planner, I mean like do a brain dump every week of everything that has to get done in the week and then schedule it to the day of the week you're going to do it. Or if you're just going to decide, actually, that doesn't need done this week because there's a lot to think about this week, I can move that to next week. That's fine. If I don't get to it, let's put that as like a, let's just mark that is a low tier need for the week. If I get to it, great. If I don't, it's fine. But it lets you look at what you need to look at, and then it allows you to prioritize things, to shift them, to move them. And that's really one thing that makes life easier is looking at things and deciding what actually needs to be done and what can I actually let go of, and then let go of it. Move it to another date, give it to somebody else, toss it in the trash, whatever you need to do with it. Be willing to make those shifts and changes. Okay? And why I made my own my own planner was because I wanted every day to be able to decide what is my intention. I wanted to always remind myself of my intentions. Use an affirmation for the day or some kind of a quote. I wanted to have a space for priorities that was outside of my schedule. And I wanted to be able to meal plan, have reflection, and practice gratitude in my planner so that I didn't have to have a ton of different notebooks and all kinds of things going on. I do every day put down the affirmation and the gratitude and some reflection space every day in my daily planner. But that's also something that I tend to use like a personal journal, a spiral notebook to elaborate on But I like that whenever I'm looking at the things I need to do today, I have the reminders of what I'm grateful for and my affirmation, typically of my worth or my abilities, or, affirming myself that I'm supported in all of this, so that those types of things don't get lost in all of the to-dos, everything I need to do, everywhere I need to be. It doesn't get lost when it's right there in my planner. And coming up on number 3 on my list is my Shark vacuum. I didn't bother to go look. I believe it's a Navigator lift away, but I will have a link to it in the description to this episode. It is an affiliate link. I will get paid 20 cents if you buy the vacuum or something like that from my link. I don't know how much it is, but I will get paid if you click the link and buy the same vacuum I have. But I do have to say I love this vacuum and I love the Shark customer service. I'm not getting paid to say this. I decided I wanted to go get a link to this because I talk up my vacuums so much in day-to-day life that if someone buys it from my recommendation, I totally deserve getting a few cents or dollars off of that sale because I led people to Shark to buy my vacuum. But it's amazing because there's no hair wrap. Okay, like I grew. Okay, let me backtrack here. I grew up in a house where our vacuum was always breaking. My parents would constantly come home with like the cheapest vacuum they could find or an old used vacuum. They would just buy a vacuum and then I'd have to use it and it did not ever work right. And they were constantly getting clogged and like constantly getting hair wrapped around the rollers. And it was so frustrating. And I thought that's the way it had to be. I thought all vacuums sucked, like not in the right way. Like I thought all vacuums were just terrible and didn't do their job. And then when I became an adult and responsible for all the vacuuming in my own home, I had to start investigating. I was like, what? There has to be a vacuum out there that's worth it. Okay. And I dropped some pretty pennies on getting a new vacuum. It's not the most expensive vacuum out there. I think it goes for like $2.99 or something like that. And then I got it on sale. Because they go on sale like around Christmas time or something because vacuums are a great gift for moms. No, they're not. No, they're not. That is a gift for your house. Let's get that straight right now. But I don't have any men listening to this who are gonna go shopping for a woman for Mother's Day, for Christmas or whatever. Like, I don't know. But yeah, we can all agree vacuums are not a great gift. No, they are useful. They are necessary. They are tools. But I don't know. It's not. I think men just think the vacuums are like a power tool to a woman. Like they think we view our home appliances the way they view their tools. And men get hot for power tools for Christmas, I guess, but they need to understand that women don't want a new vacuum for Christmas. We don't want pots and pans for Christmas. Those are things we need for the house to get the job done. We don't get horny for doing the job with a good tool. Like we don't. But you know what? I'm barking up the wrong tree. Y'all are in agreement with me. I know it. Maybe you're not. Maybe you do think a vacuum would be a really great thing. Like, I don't know. I thought I knew you better than that, but maybe I don't. Anyways, Shark vacuum. I love my vacuum. I really, really do. It does not ever have the hair wrap, and it doesn't constantly have problems, and it doesn't hardly ever get clogged unless I vacuum up something that I really shouldn't have tried to vacuum. Like whenever it gets clogged, I'm always like, I knew better than that. I shouldn't have tried that one. Like I should have just been down and picked that up. It can vacuum up like one Lego, but if it's like a mega block, it's gonna clog it. Can't say that we haven't all been there, right? Vacuuming up kids' toys. I absolutely have. Just it's not nothing important. Just like the little pieces that are left out of a set that no one's gonna miss. And typically I'll pull them out when I go to dump it in the trash. I'll pull it out and it'll be dusty and I'll just toss it in the sink. We'll wash it and give it back to the kids. If I'm feeling compassionate and sweet. But also, Shark has good customer service. I have to tell you about that because the hose on my vacuum has broken twice now because of personal use problems. I just wasn't careful with it. Vacuuming up mega blocks and things I shouldn't, I guess. Letting my 6-year-old do the vacuuming. That probably is what's done it a little bit. But I had to buy a replacement part um, like a year and a half ago to the hose, and I then the hose broke again. Like it's the hose part got a hole in it, um, just from carelessness. And I emailed them about it. I was like, "This piece broke again. I've already had it replaced once, and I'm pretty sure it's not in warranty, but I'm just letting you guys know it broke again." And they were really awesome about it. It was super easy. They were like, "Oh, we see that you broke like we see that you've replaced this part before and it isn't in warranty, but we can give you 50% off the part with free shipping." I was like, "Yeah. Yeah, that's like $30. That's definitely worth replacing and not like just going out and getting a new vacuum at that point. Because if I had to pay for it full price, I probably would have just gotten a new vacuum and been like, you know what? Somebody else can have this one. They can buy the new part and, whatever." Um, so I do have to say, shark vacuuming, having good tools, like it's not just shark vacuum, but having good tools around the house to do the jobs I need to do makes things easier. When like I don't even care like if you go out and get a Dyson vacuum instead. I don't care. Just get something. Like if you're constantly having a clogged vacuum and you're constantly like having to unwrap hair and you're constantly if everything you have is constantly breaking down, you need to look at investing in something of quality. And a lot of times you can even get lucky. There's a lot of groups out there like Facebook buy nothing groups. You get lucky sometimes and people are getting rid of stuff for free that is exactly what you need and it is high quality. They're just like, "Hey, this we're upgrading and I'd like to just give this to somebody in the community instead of trying to sell it and or taking it to the dump because it's still in really great condition. It's just a couple years old." And it's like you could get so lucky and you can get things like that all the time. Um, so yeah, definitely consider getting in a group like that with Buy Nothing, the Buy Nothing Project. Um, Definitely just if your tools are breaking down, if what you have is breaking down and not working, get something of quality that is going to work, right? And if it's you that's constantly breaking down and what you're doing is not working, do what you need to do to fix your habits, to realign, start drinking your water, eating better meals, get enough sleep, start at that baseline, improve yourself, become of higher quality because you deserve that, a higher quality life. The fourth thing that makes my life a whole lot easier is meal planning. And not just meal planning because yes, that makes it easier and to like curate your grocery list based on the meals you already plan on cooking. That's definitely it's budget friendly to do that. It helps you save money to like buy the food you're gonna cook and then to already know what you're gonna cook at dinner time. So super freaking helpful. Meal planning definitely makes life easier. But I have been taking it a step farther lately and getting the meal delivery boxes where it just delivers everything you need for all your dinners. You pre-select it the week before. They give you a list of like 30 things and then you pick like 4 or 5. And then they just send you all of your dinner supplies in a box with the recipe cards. It's so easy. Like I don't have to think about dinner hardly. Like I just have to go to the store and get like milk and snacks and things like that. I have to make sure that I have lunches, breakfast supplies, but those are so much more like easy flex things, it feels like. And it feels like we put so much pressure on dinner. And I feel like taking that pressure off and being like, dinner's taken care of. I don't even have to think about it. I don't have to worry about it. Like, oh my gosh, that makes life easier. It frees up your brain space. It's one less thing to decide not to stress about, right? And I have been using EveryPlate lately, and I'm a fan. I used HelloFresh for a while, but it's super convenient how everything is like packaged per dinner. So you just like grab the bag and it's ready to go. And they have a bit wider selection on HelloFresh, but it costs more, and there's so much more garbage. It feels like. And so I decided so we tried EveryPlate, and I'm digging it. I really am. And I've even got a promo code in the description to this that is something like $60 off a box or something like that. I don't remember. I didn't really look. But it's a discount. If you're opening a brand new account with EveryPlate, you get like a free box basically out of, I don't know, your first 4 or something. I don't know. You save money by signing up with the link. If that's something you're interested in trying and doing, I highly recommend it. Okay, number 5 is Kids Fire tablets. And I'll get a link in the bio for this one too, or a link in the description for this one too. I definitely give my kids screen time. That's the only way I get things done a lot of the time, or that we can make it through long trips in the car. If you're going on a long trip with your kids, the trick is, if you don't already know, pull out like hide the tablets and don't let them know you brought them really until you absolutely have to. Like, get them so bored of being in the car that once they get the tablets, they will just like focus in and be good to go. That's what we usually try to do whenever we do road trips. We have gotten really good at road trips with the kids. It's been amazing, actually. Like, they can go like 6 or 7 hours in the car without screaming the whole way. I remember one time my kid screamed the whole way home from Eugene, and that's only like a 2.5 hour drive. And he just screamed the whole way. I think he was probably like 15 or 18 months at the time. It was just like the worst time. And then we went to like Snake River to go camping, and that was a 7 hour drive. And I was like, I'm never driving to Utah with kids again. This is the worst ever. And then we went to Utah like 2 or 3 times since then, to go to Silverwood Theme Park, which is amazing. If you've never been, if you're in the Pacific Northwest or coming up here, you should totally check that out. It's so good. It's like Disneyland, but cheaper and smaller and much shorter wait lines. Not quite as magical, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun. But anyways, we've made that drive a few times now, and the kids do amazing. And we bring out the tablets like towards the end of the trip if we can. I really like the Kids Fire tablets from Amazon, because I do have like moms and moms groups all the time asking, what's the best tablet for kids? I love these ones because they come with a kids case that is very unbreakable. You get like a 2-year warranty on them. And like, we have to send 2 of them in right now because one has a broken screen and the other one's battery life is just garbage. And then the third one is just performing perfectly. But yeah, it's like you just do a little customer service claim and it's not that hard. And then you send it back and they'll send you a new one or refurbished or whatever. Like, it's so not bad. It's so easy. It's good customer service because it's Amazon. It's high quality. And they have like a whole kids screen where you get like parental control. You can decide like, I only want them reading books from this time to this time, or I want it to lock after 8 p.m. I don't want it to turn on until 11 a.m. I don't want them to be able to get into the account or whatever. Like, and they have a whole kid screen that's just kid-friendly apps, kid-friendly YouTube videos, all of those things. And it's really like so convenient to just trust, like hand it to them and just be like, they can figure it out themselves. My 2-year-old uses one. My 4-year-old loves one. My almost 6-year-old loves one. And they're all really great at it. Like, the only time they fight is when one of them wants a game that the other one has and they can't find it because they don't know how to use the search option and spell it out themselves. So they have to come to me and I have to put the game on for them. But I mean, that's really just a situational brothers fighting because they want what the other one has kind of situation. But I love them. And then you can put in a little passcode and just use like an adult Kindle, basically, because it is a Fire, and it just becomes a regular Fire when you exit the kids account, and you just go to like the main profile, and it functions just like a normal Fire. So it can be for you too at the same time. And I think that's so neat, so awesome, so amazing. And so the link in the description to those is, of course, an affiliate link, because if I'm going to tell you to buy it, the company should pay me, right? But it's something that I would recommend anyway. Nobody asked me. I asked for the link because I wanted to tell you guys how amazing it was. So just being upfront and honest about that. there's affiliate links. If you buy it, I make money if you buy it from my link. Which if you're going to buy it based on my recommendation, shouldn't I make some money from the company? I'm not making money off you, I'm making money off of the money you're already going to pay them. So that is the top 5 things that are making my life easier every single day. Number 1 is stressing. No, not stressing. Number 1 is detaching from the stress and letting it go. Learning to release stress and not hang on to that. Learning to see through the stress and see it for what it really is. So helpful. Using a planner every day. Shameless plug, my Everyday Joy planner specifically is amazing. But using a planner every single day, having appliances that function the way I expect them to, high quality tools and appliances inside my home, specifically the Sharp vacuum. That just makes life so much easier to not have things that are constantly breaking down. And coming from a home where things were breaking down, it's just, oh man, it's a whole new world when you invest in quality products. It definitely is. Number 4, having dinner taken care of, meal planning. Even if I got to cook it, at least I don't have to think about it. It's just, I pencil in my planner, 5:30, let's go cook dinner. And it's already there. It's already taken care of. I don't have to worry, oh crap, do I have to run to the store? Nope, I don't. I've got everything I need. And number 5 is that kids buy our tablet because dang, screen time saves my sanity. I am that mom. I really am. Oh, and I forgot to mention you can set limits. Like you can be like, only use it for 1 hour a day or 2 hours a day or during this time to that time. And that's super helpful because then you don't have to be the mom who comes in and is like, okay, time to turn off the tablets. The tablet's just like, okay, time's up, which is awesome. The kids still complain about it, but at least it's like, well, the tablet's tired. The tablet needs to take a nap now. You used up all your time. It needs to rest too, or, whatever you want to tell your kids about screen time. Okay, this episode has gotten so long-winded. Thank you. Thank you for hanging in there. Thank you for making it to the end. If you have made it to the end, I want you to tell me, what is one thing that makes your life easier? Whatever it is, if it's a product, if you've got an affiliate link to something, if it's something you sell, if you're into MLM and there's something you sell that makes your life easier, even like shameless promo, if there's a tool that you use that makes life easier, if there's a podcast you're listening to full of amazing mindset shifts that makes your life easier, whatever it is, like, I want to know, what is one thing that makes your life easier? I want you to screenshot this episode, share it on Instagram, tag me at Britt Clarkson, and tell me what's the one thing that makes your life easier. If you're not on Instagram, Facebook works too. That's at Brittany Clarkson blog if you want to tag me over there. Or if you're on my friends list, like just tag my personal account, Brittany Clarkson. Like, I'm cool with that too. I just want you to know, or send me an email, hello@brittanyclarkson.com. There's so many ways to get a hold of me. I just want you to tell me. Even you can click in the description. There's a link to the blog post for this episode. You can comment on the blog post. I'm pretty sure. I'll make sure that you can comment on the blog post. I will add a thing in there for comments. I want to know, what's one thing that makes your life easier? Let's share. Let's amplify each other, lift each other up. Let's do this. Thank you for being here. You held on. This is a long episode. This is like 40 minutes or something. Like, way to go. I can't believe you wanted to listen to my voice for 40 minutes. That means a lot to me. That means so much to me. I could cry. But I'm hungry, so I'm going to go eat instead. I love you, friend. Bye. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of I Get To. It really does mean the world to me to have you here. But are you ready to take this a step farther? Check the description below this episode and grab the Happy Mom Mindset mini guide. It's totally free to you, and it's not just for moms, by the way. Then hop onto Instagram. Let me know what you thought about this episode. Share your screenshot, tag me, Britt Clarkson. And if any part of this has resonated with you, I so appreciate if you'd leave me a review and a rating on Apple Podcasts. It really is just the only way podcasts get seen. And then share this on social, text it to your bestie. You're part of a movement now. We're here to change the minds of moms everywhere. It doesn't have to be just this hard, hot mess thing anymore. We get to enjoy our lives, guys. Let's go.